Adalberto Costa Júnior surpreende tudo e todos ao ceder uma entrevista em inglês.
Quem é o presidente que faz isso?
É isto ali, família. Realmente o presidente da UNITA, Adalberto Costa Júnior, cedeu ali uma entrevista na língua inglesa, algo que surpreendeu a muitos angolanos por entenderem que o presidente da República nem fala inglês, nem tampouco francês. Isto porque os angolanos vaiaram, comentaram, abusaram, zombaram do presidente da República quando participou ali nos acordos de Ruanda e República Democrática do Congo, ali nos Estados Unidos, em Washington, D.C., onde o presidente, em vez de pronunciar-se em inglês, que é a língua oficial, primeiramente, do lugar onde ele estava, a língua oficial ali do Ruanda, e a RDC fala francês, e o presidente simplesmente escusou, preferiu falar em português, sabendo ele que, diante daquela situação, naquela ocasião, deveria ele pronunciar-se em inglês ou francês, que são línguas internacionalmente conhecidas. Porque estava a falar para um público, primeiro, de Ruanda, um público dos Estados Unidos, um público da RDC. Digo isto porque os autores daqueles acordos nem sequer português entendem. Então, era obrigação do presidente da República, naquela ocasião, abordar em francês ou inglês. Mas Adalberto Costa Júnior esteve agora numa entrevista onde, na realidade, falou um pouco da situação do país, das eleições, e nós, na realidade, vamos ter essa amabilidade de traduzir para a tua compreensão, você que não fala e não entende inglês. Família, vamos à matéria.
I'm completely sure that the ruler party will use non-legal uses as usual for next elections, and it's because of that all of us, we are very, very worried with that, and we are trying to arrive to an agreement for a quiet transition, but the leadership of the MPLAs, they never talk, and they are not able to sit and discuss, but we must insist. I have someone, old man, an African one, a very experienced one, came to me 2 months ago and they gave me an advice. Please do everything that you could to sit with MPLA leadership, and you must negotiate a transition agreement, giving to them guarantees that they will be respect later elections. And you must do that, or I'm afraid, he told me, that you will face a big fraud. They will do that, and the youth will refuse to accept again fraud, and you will face big problems and distractions, and a lot of people could be killed. And it's because of that I'm doing my best, not only inside of the country. I'm doing my best also outside. I'm talking with Portugal, with the European Union, with the United States, with an African neighbored countries, and not only, trying to push all of them to be involved, guaranteeing that we can have a quiet transition. I'm telling quiet, and I know that the risks are. Let me tell you, I did a big campaign inside of UNITA parties. I'm just coming from 30 days of a lot of works where I visit all the country by car. And I understood that I can win the elections. The people gave these signs strongly to me. I was stopped in all places, small villages, in other municipalities, in big towns, youth, ladies, old men, even the kids. Adalberto, como estás, Adalberto? And I felt a big responsibility, and I think that the victory is just there. My message is clear. I'm completely sure that the diplomatic representation in Angola, all of them knows that MPLA will not able to win the elections. All of them knows that. And because of the last experience that we had in 2022 elections, I became very close of them. And all of them saying that they have difficulties to talk with the leadership in their countries. They are informing clearly, but the leadership of their countries thinks that they could maintain the image. And the problem is that Angola invests strongly in image, and they buy very expensive planes. They invite for conference all times, but the Angolan government paid all kind of conference. Angolan government paid the tickets for the foreign people to come here, and this is a kind of corruption also. And the international community must be careful with these uses, because I'm completely sure that the youth will not accept again frauds. And I think we are in same and common interests. The international people here, they want to develop their kind of economic representations, and the economic interest must be protected completely. And we agreed with that, but not closing the eyes to the human rights violations. Are too much people being killed all times by Angolan government, and we have a lot of proofs of that. And I will insist to work with everybody, also inside of Angolan government, to guarantee that we can have future, quiet future. But for that, we must realize the reforms that everybody needs to do. Everybody in Angola, even the poor people, are well informed, and this is good, it's not bad. Even if people are poor, they know what they want, and they want free and fair elections next time. And I think the Angolan government must be really careful. Also inside of MPLA, there are a big movement pressing for reforms and pressing to have for next Congress much more than just one candidate. And I understand that the pressure inside of MPLA is it's not small. But just look to UNITA. Just learn with UNITA. You must be courageous. And we must think on Angola and not only in our personal and in the partisan interests. We must do better. We are doing better. We learned a lot. We have a strategic plan for do better, the small and other kind of necessities that we identified, the principal necessities to do better. We have all of that in our strategic plan, and we know what we need to do. Very, very, very clear. If we had 200,000 people controlling the elections, we are able to have 1 million people in next elections. Educated before, clearly. We must form people, educate them, and we must put circles surrounding, respecting the law, guaranteeing the security of the tables. And we are able to do that. And we are able to have agreements with social organization, church and others. And the MPLA knows that. And the better is to sit together and to guarantee that we have our interests guaranteeing quiet elections. I have a plan, huh? We must have, and I have a plan. And my plan is completely different than the approach that MPLA is doing till now. I think we must put all capacities moving in same directions. Not one in the right and another to left and another behind, and these that are happening now. And we must have a press. The journalists must work clearly and with the real message for the people. And I think I'm able to do some things that, let me tell you, it's the first time that I accept to register this. I have the capacities to sit all countries' representatives, is to sit together and to guarantee that we have our interests guaranteeing quiet elections. I have a plan, huh? we must have, and I have a plan. And my plan is completely different than the approach that MPLA is doing till now. I think we must put all capacities moving in some directions, not one in the right and another to left and another behind, and this that are happening now. And we must have a press. The journalists must work clearly and with the real message for the people. And I think I'm able to do some things that, let me tell you, it's the first time that I accept to register this. I have the capacities to sit all countries' representatives and realize a big meeting, maybe 2 or 3 weeks meetings, putting together the representations of the society to discuss our difficulties, our challenges, and to decide which kind of models for governments is better to Angola. Because this that we have, nobody demands to the people if it's this that they model that they want. And I'm completely sure if we put together the families, the interest of the families, the interest of the business people, the interest of the state, the schools, and the official channels doing the same, trying to create a quiet and developed country, we can arrive to a very good results. But let me tell you another thing. I think differently than Lorenzo and MPLA people. I don't want to government with UNITA people. I will government with Angolan and the well-educated Angolans, and I can work with others. And this is a big difference for me. I'm completely sure that I'm prepared and we will have results in our governance. What are happening in the African process, electoral process, all of them had terrible results. Later elections, no stabilities. And the economic interests are not respected. And I think it's time to change the approach. It's time to request that we can join democracy and the international interests. And it's impossible to have this separation, to realize our interests where the people are killed, where the human rights are not respected, where the elections are not free and fair, and no transparencies. What happened in last 2-3 months in Africa? People lived from his houses and protesting against the parties, the ruler parties, and the risks are big in Angola. And what are happening more than this? Part of the army, some momentos, understand that their interests are the interests of the people. And this is good when this happened. But I don't want arriving to this kind of risks. I prefer to sit now, look to the future, look forward, and put our interests together, and we can work together. And I'm completely prepared to respect democracy, to respect the other parties, and we have a lot of capacities to become one of the best countries in leading economic, but we must work for that. It's something that we will not receive as some kind of miracle. It's a really good question. Which kind of things are doing the rural parties and the government in Africa countries? Arriving to the elections, they decide to destroy the opposition parties, and they decide to accuse the leadership of the opposition as terrorists. They put the leadership of opposition in the jail, and is this that are happening in all places, and happened in Tanzania, not in Uganda, not completely, but we have leaders of opposition in the jail in last 2 years. Happened in Guinea, in other places, and the risks in Angola are big. They tried to do the same here also. Fortunately, the civil society reacted. And we are doing also our best for didn't arrive to this kind of position. What happening in Tanzania? People are not developed. A lot of problems. We have not a democratic leadership in the country. We have a dictatorship regime. A lot of people were killed, and no conditions to have international investments in that conditions. This kind of approach indicate poverty for future, and I want to do better and completely different for that. And we must talk with the international community, with the African institutions, with European institutions, with China, United States leadership, to understand that the interests must walk with the democratic rules, with the transparent rules.
É isto ali, família. Realmente o presidente da UNITA, Adalberto Costa Júnior, pode falar ali inglês, né? E respondendo várias questões, conforme vocês viram, né? Aquelas cenas estavam a aparecer ali a preto, são as perguntas que Adalberto foi respondendo mediante a entrevista. Família, este é o presidente da UNITA e nós continuaremos a estar aqui, tal como mostramos ali os acordos de paz, né, entre Ruanda e RDC, e mostramos o presidente da República de Angola, João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, a falar ali a língua portuguesa. Infelizmente foi muito contestado a nível nacional. Muitos eram apologistas que o presidente da República deveria falar simplesmente inglês ou mesmo francês. Família, eu sou Leão Bilhamo, nós somos a Cabas e Xango TV. Fiquem bem, fiquem na paz do Senhor. Ou melhor, se é lá no bombote.
Quem é o presidente que faz isso?